Well, let me tell you something, brother.
Snort, snort, snort.
Kogan. Drip.
Snort, snort.
I got the drip. Go. Soggy Gambino says, wasn't there an idea to release new merch this year? There was. And if you remember earlier this year, I said, hey, if anyone would be interested in making some logos or stuff, and also I needed suggestions of places to sell merch, because if you remember, why do I not have merch right now? If you remember, I had merch starting in 2017 when I became a full-time streamer. You guys asked me to start selling merchandise. I didn't care about it. I wasn't looking to make money doing it, but you guys wanted me to. So that was when apparently Teespring got wind that I had said that, and Teespring reached out to me. I did not go to Teespring. They actually contacted me, and they said, we're looking for content creators who want to sell merch. We heard you say that you wanted to. We'd like to set you up with your own Teespring store. We'd like to do your initial designs and everything. I said, sounds good. So we did this within like a 2-month period. I worked with Teespring. They designed some initial designs. We set up my store. What ended up happening was over the course of that year, like 2017 to 2018, a few of my fans actually designed some really nice logos and things for shirts. And I put out a big merch line. This is some of it you see right here. This Skull King logo, this graffiti logo. These were some of the shirts that were designed and put up on Teespring. Teespring was well aware of who I was, the content I had put out. They reached out to me to make a Teespring store and work on it, okay? So that store existed from 2017 all the way through 2021. And all of a sudden in 2021, now keep in mind, I didn't actively look at this store at all. Like every once in a while, maybe I would look at it, update it, change the storefront. But I wasn't selling anything on it. Like seriously, I was making no sales. Maybe I'd sell one shirt a month, if that. Because by the way, the prices, I always kept them down. No exaggeration. I was making $1 a shirt. That's how much money I was making. Because I wasn't doing it for profit. I was doing it to have merch for my fans because they wanted merch. They wanted some swag. I never made a big profit on anything on Teespring. I think the most profitable month I ever had was like I made $120. That was a Christmas one year. That was it. So it was always fan service for you guys, okay? So in 2021, someone tells me my Teespring store is down. And I'm like, it is? Really? And I look, I've received no notifications, nothing. Nothing from anyone about this, okay? I go to my page, it's gone. The account is closed. Huh? What do you mean? I didn't close it. I had nothing to do with this. So I wrote Teespring support, and they ghosted me for the longest time. Eventually, they did give me a response, and they said, your account has been closed and is not able to be reopened. This is our final decision. That was it. They never told me why. They never told me what was wrong with the account. Nothing. Keep in mind, they're the ones who reached out to me in 2017. I didn't go to them. They wanted me on their site in 2017. So for 4 years, I was on their business selling merch, and they never had a problem. And then all of a sudden, one day, they just closed my store with no notice and not telling me what I did. You know? So I'm like, what the hell? Right? What's up with that? I don't get it. You know? So, I mean, is it well within their right? It is. Anyone can choose at any point to not do business with someone. But what did I do? Did I violate a rule? Right? What was it? Because they, again, if it was something like, well, we don't like you and your content. Well, you reached out to me in 2017. You knew well about who I was and all my content. They even designed my first shirts. I have shirts they made. Like, for example, the one that says, I'm pushing buttons, and it has all various directions and button inputs on the shirt. They made that one, not me. So if they knew all about it, then why did they kick me off the site? It didn't make any sense. Now, come to find out, within a 2-month period, I was kicked off of Twitch's partner program. I was kicked out of one and then both of the popular payment processors for things like tips. And then it was Teespring. So what happened was, I did find out eventually what happened. What happened was, first of all these companies essentially went woke. And what that means is, during this time period, they all wanted to become ultra liberal. And they got a lot of pressure from management and other things to get rid of people who they thought were problematic. Not to say that anything that I do is necessarily problematic, but I've got a giant hater base. And what my hater base was doing was going around. They had actually created, I'm not even shitting you. I know this sounds like crazy, but this is my life. They created a package, a portfolio of what they considered my most offensive content I've ever put out. Even though most of that content isn't even on the internet right now, and it's certainly not anything I've done in the last decade. They put together a portfolio of offensive content. And they started going around to these companies and sending this to like their customer support complaint lines saying, are you aware that you have a person as part of your program who said and did this stuff? How do you support this? How do you condone this? Blah, blah, blah. Right? So you're like, well, why did I get kicked out of the partner program on Twitch? Literally, I have evidence because someone at Twitch who I'm never going to reveal this, who it was, someone at Twitch showed me the evidence that this is what was sent to our company, and this went basically to the complaint department. It went to management. When management saw it, they decided to cut you out of the part. They weren't going to ban you from the site because the stuff that they saw was never done on Twitch. But they decided behind the scenes that because of stuff that I did over 10 years ago, that this was a cancelable action in 2011, and therefore they didn't want me to be part of their partner program. Yeah. It's messed up, but that's what happened. And they did this Twitch, Teespring, and like I said, those other payment like processors for tips, all of those got the same package of stuff, and they're all idiots. They're all dumbass, woke-ass leftist companies. That's how they're run. And they saw, oh, he said something offensive a decade ago. We can't have that guy in our program, and they banned me. So what happened was Teespring overnight kicked me out and didn't even tell me. I didn't even know till you guys told me, okay? Now, here's the thing. I said, this year, would I consider bringing back merch? Sure. If you notice, I don't do any kind of offensive content. I just don't. There's nothing offensive about my content. The most offensive content you'll find is I'm playing Street Fighter and I call someone a scrub and they didn't earn their win. You know, fuck them, go to hell, stuff like that. That's the most offensive content I literally put out in 2023. It's tame, all right? I don't do anything crazy, right? And, you know, I don't think that ever, really, I will do anything offensive in the future moving forward like the shit that I used to do. But if these companies are going to hold me accountable for stuff that 10 years ago was perfectly acceptable, I'll never be able to do business with anyone. You understand? I mean, it's ridiculous. It is ridiculous that the stuff that I did 10 years ago, now I'm, you know, actually at this point, not even kidding, at this point, it's 13 years ago. 13 years ago, I did stuff on the internet that somehow gets me canceled today. How does that make sense? Right? So, anyway, what I said earlier this year was, if anyone has an idea of a company that I could work with, right, that would not cancel me for shit that I did in the past, then I would work with them. But I don't want to go through the effort of working with people to get a bunch of designs made, setting up an online store, uploading, creating the merch, putting it out there just to get the store closed. Because this company, we can't work with you because you're offensive. You know, I'm not going to waste time. So I need to know. And by the way, literally no one told me of a company that's not like that. A lot of people are kind of saying that pretty much all those companies online are like that. And I'm like, well, that's no good. I'm not going to waste time with it then, right? Again, this is not for profit for me. This is just to be nice to my viewers so they can have some stuff, some collectibles as memorabilia. I'm not making, I made $1 a shirt on Teespring. I didn't give a shit about profits. So, yeah, nothing, you know, nothing changed. So that's all I'm saying. So, you know, let me know again if anyone knows of a company. I would say what you need to do. Are there other people on the internet, right, who could be seen not necessarily as offensive, but I guess controversial, or had a past that's different than their present, but they, you know, people try to cancel them and shit, and they're still able to sell merch. Like, where do they sell their merch? That's a good question. I would love to know. I don't know, you know, so let me know. But I didn't hear anything, so therefore I wasn't going to set up anything up. Again, that's a lot of work, not only for me, but for other people who are going to design stuff, and just to have it wasted time. I don't want to waste everybody's time, you know. Derek, I do use the YouTube app to watch some videos. For example, when I watch the Street Fighter videos, yes, I use the YouTube app to watch those. I don't know what that has to do with anything, though. Soggy Gambino, you're welcome. He thanked me for the detailed response about merch.
I got the drip go. 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 It's like a faucet that's dripping. You can't make it stop. So what do you want me to do? Have a mute button that every second I'm tapping the mute button just in case I'm gonna have to clear? Like, this is what I mean. These dumb kids. This is what it is. It's dumb kids.